Satisfaction and contentment are two words that I've been thinking about. The Cambridge Dictionary gives these definitions. Satisfaction, a pleasant feeling that you get when you receive something you wanted or when you have done something you want to do. Contentment, happiness and satisfaction, often because you have everything you need. Not exactly my way of thinking, but then neither is mine the Rolling Stones complaint. I can't get no satisfaction. For me, satisfaction is one of those funny emotions that eludes one when we try to grasp it. And then it just pops up and the whole world is bathed in golden light. It comes with a job well done, or the solution to a baffling puzzle, or the creation of something new. I am sure the Stones were talking about sex and love, definitely where one wants to get satisfaction. But love doesn't appear on demand. It grows and catches you by surprise. And when you finally grasp it, it overwhelms one with satisfaction. Or is it contentment? For me, contentment is when the world is turning just as it ought, the planets are aligned, and the one you love miraculously loves you. All your needs and wants are met, you're content with your world, at least for the moment, and you get to exult in the satisfaction of it all. Contentment comes to me in so many different ways. There are those wonderful moments after consuming a great turkey dinner and then dozing off in the after effects of cranberries made like Gran did, the perfect veggies of the fall harvest, and the pumpkin pie slathered in corn syrup, or whipped cream if you prefer. The world just seems perfect at that moment. Across the table, the hostess is showing similar signs of satisfaction as she surveys the contented smiles around the table and as conversation fades in concert with the stuffed bellies. I remember that smile of satisfaction on my father's face the last day I saw him. I had just been explaining how my 15-month-old son had yet to show any interest in learning how to walk, when Darb suddenly stood up and walked defiantly across the living room with arms outstretched to his grandfather. Pride, delight, and satisfaction warred on his face that day. What a wonderful last image for me to have. Or imagine the actor on opening night as the curtain goes down and the applause rages through the theater, and he knows his performance truly touched the hearts of the audience, and they felt what he was emoting. What satisfaction that must be. And speaking of great actors, Kiefer Sutherland noted at the passing of his father, Donald, he loved what he did and did what he loved, and one can never ask for more than that, a life well lived. And that is satisfaction. There's also satisfaction in standing in the door of your child's bedroom, the angelic expression on her sleeping face, having replaced the wee hellion who had you racing about all day. But isn't that the real joy of parenthood? A favorite for me from my days as a hospital chaplain. A dying patient had wanted me to repeat the 23rd Psalm every time I visited her. Her lips would move in unison, even when she could not be heard. The final day, as I sat holding her hand, she opened her eyes, and they seemed to smile, and I was sure I could almost hear her saying, I am going to dwell in the house of the Lord forever. It is a day like that that assures you you are exactly where you need to be. And I know that I would feel great satisfaction if I ever felt that I had mastered the computer rather than being tormented by it. Satisfaction is highly recommended by the Bible with 54 verses celebrating it. I think the best line, though, doesn't use the word. It's in Genesis when God looks down on his creation. God saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. That definitely was a time of satisfaction. Everything was very good. I find it difficult to separate satisfaction and contentment. Online, I saw this breakdown of the two words by two different Christian writers. The first, I am never satisfied, but I am always content. Contentedness is independent of your circumstances. Satisfaction is when you push away from the table and say, "No more, I'm all done." While the other opined, contentment is to see things in an optimistic way, to let things come and go, be as they are without insisting on anything. But as long as one can live in peace and be left unbothered, that is good enough. That is contentment, but that is not satisfaction. When a person is satisfied, he feels that he has what he wants and that he has no more desires. Interesting perspectives, but these thoughts are not very compatible with mine. I see both contentment and satisfaction as feelings that come and go. If anything, contentment seems to represent a peaceful time, while satisfaction comes with the successful conclusion of an activity or project or a moment in time that feels successful and rewarding of one's efforts. And that is one of the challenges of language. Hearing the same words produces different emotions or experiences or definitions in different people. Perhaps this relates to how I have experienced these emotions and whether what feels like satisfaction to me is deemed something else by others when experiencing the same feelings. Ditto for contentment. I think it explains in part how younger generations experience the same things very differently. For example, work as fulfilling, giving one a great reason to get up in the morning, ending the day with satisfaction, and looking forward to completing projects that lie ahead. That was the norm in the years when I was 16 and started working full time. And for me, that has never changed. But seeking a very different life balance between work and play, with working from home and seeking a shorter work week, is now the norm. So the satisfaction in working in one's job and in advancement and new responsibilities has changed. Whether these changes and new objectives will result in a happier and more healthy society remains to be seen. Perhaps the things we worked and saved for, owning a home, having a family, saving for retirement, and putting off so much until later, are properly passé. Whether it's healthier to spend more time and money on vacations or friends or keeping up with the latest influencers' tips than saving for long-term concerns, only time will tell. Hopefully, whatever your style or manner, satisfaction and contentment will embrace you, and your life be filled with days of both. And so I pray, dear Lord, give me challenges to explore and the will to see them through to the conclusion that brings satisfaction in this world. Let me have days of contentment with family and friends, with a good book and a leisurely stroll. Let me be and do the best that I can to the glory of your name. So may it be. Amen.